So nice to see so many lovely faces here. And whether you're here or watching online, whether it's your first time or you're joining us again, this is what we want you to know. We're here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. We long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. We're here to remind you how much you're truly loved. Thank you. So we're going to teach you the beginning of this one. It is actually, I'm not sure if you're aware, but Ella Baker was a part of the March on Washington that is famous for Martin Luther King's famous speech. And she talked about various things. There are several verses to this. We're only doing 3 today. But we're going to have you help us out with the beginning and every time it comes back. And Donalyn's going to help signal you when to come back in. But the first part goes like this. Let me take this off. All right. So the words are up here. It's we who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until they come again. Here we go. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Nice. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. That which touches me most is that I have a chance to work with people, passing on to others that which was passed on to me. The older I get, the better I know that the secret to my going on is when the reins are in the hands of the young who dare to run against the storm. Come on, here we go. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Not needing to clutch for power, not needing the light just to shine on me. I need to be just one in the number as we stand against tyranny. We all believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until they come. One more time, a little more energy. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Nice. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Reverend Dr. David Goldberg, and what a joy it is to be with you today. Whether you are in our sanctuary, whether you're listening outside on the labyrinth, whether you're catching us online at a time that's perfect for you, we just bless you and honor you and love you in this expression. And how good it is to be together. How good it is to be together, seeing eye to eye and face to face and feeling heart to heart. While we know time and space are human constructs, we are human animals and we appreciate being together in community. And what a joy it is to be with you. And as we've already shared, whether you are a long-time UOTA, Unity on the Avenue Spiritual Center member or congregant, or whether you're with us for the first time, you are welcome here. Because you see, we are radically inclusive. We honor all people. We recognize all faith traditions. We appreciate and recognize all gender identities and gender expressions. So whatever you may have done, whatever you may have not done, it is all good because it's all God and you are welcome here. And as I get started today, I am humbled and honored by the presence of one of my dear friends, one of my mentors, Reverend Dr. Raz Smith and his beautiful wife, Tina. And spoiler alert, Raz is going to be here the last 2 Sundays in August. So he has much to say. He is an extraordinarily wise man, and he has an odd sense of humor. So. And it's perfect. So that's great. So again, welcome to everybody. We are so glad that you are here. And it's my great joy, as many of our volunteers, as many of our board members, so many people do so many different things and different activities. Donna Lynn is not only doing vocals, she's also doing our announcements today. Please welcome her.
Morning. Good morning. Oh, let's see, announcements, current drives, upcoming classes and events. You can go to the website for more details on how to sign up or take a picture of the slide. Pencil Box Project. Unity is partnered with the Child Rescued Foundation on the Pencil Box Project, which distributes school supplies for children in need in Denver through Denver Kids Incorporated. Please bring items that you see on the slide Sunday in July and put them in the receptacle at the back of the sanctuary. Snack and Chat is back. Gather and share. Today we are bringing back the popular Snack and Chat immediately after service in the courtyard. Light refreshments will be provided. Gong Bass with Greg Wilkins, 2nd and 4th Tuesdays. This coming July 13th, he will be here. And also on the 27th, please come and enjoy the vibrational utopia that Greg is so good at doing. Concerts in the courtyard. Starling was a folk band, was here yesterday. They were amazing. Lovely ladies, very skilled with their instruments, very unique with their own written music. It was very, very good. So please do come to the next one, which is Grace and Blue. They'll be returning Saturday, July 24th from 4 to 6 here in the courtyard. A class entitled An Experience in Beloved Community is continuing to be offered by Reverend Doris Hodgkins every other Monday. It started on June 14th and will continue until October 25th. You can join at any time. To register, contact her directly. Please see the slide. We are anchored in prayer here at Unity on the Avenue. Our prayer chaplain this morning is Opal James. She will lead us with our statement of faith and our prayer reading.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity on the Avenue. I'm going to start off by reading our statement of faith. You can read it out loud, or we will just look at it on the screen and feel it as we read it. There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. As we give our attention today to these words, our prayer is letting go and letting God. Trust in the Lord and do good, and He will give you the desires of your heart. This is from Psalms 37, verses 3 through 4. I have learned not to give up when a door closes in my life, because I know that God is opening a window for new opportunities. So I come to what seems like the end of a relationship or a way of life. I trust and I let God go of all anxiety about such a change. Then I let God open the way to new blessings that are in store for me. As I let go, God shows me the way. God gives me the strength and the courage to take the first step into a new direction, or to go back to the one that if it is necessary. As I let go and let God, I release fears and concerns about the future, for I know God is in charge, and I know that God is guiding me always, where I will find the greatest peace and fulfillment. As I let go and let God, I experience true peace and fulfillment. And so it is, and so we are. Amen.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. Reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Beautifully done, as always, Maylin. Thank you. And Scott, welcome. Such a beautiful addition. We appreciate your consciousness and your professionalism. Thanks for being here. So, my friends, we are continuing our conversation about freedom. And with all of our freedoms, with the freedoms that we enjoy, what amazing things are you going to do, or are you doing with your freedom? We have an interesting opportunity this week in the city of Denver, in the state of Colorado, with the Major League All-Star Game here. And so we're going to talk about baseball and billionaires today. Is everybody excited? Yay! I know. It's an amazing thing in and of itself. So, I love it when a plan comes together. I love it how synchronistic spirit is. Bless Maylin, among many other things, she is after me months in advance for my talk titles. So she can feel into what she wants the music to be. She can reach out to special guests. And so I shared with her, I don't know how many months ago, that we were going to talk about freedom and maybe something to do with baseball and the All-Star Game. And the front page of today's Denver Post says 4 days in April. And it talks about the intersection of baseball and politics, and how the state legislature in Georgia passed some interesting voting laws that some felt were good laws, and some felt that they were restrictive of voters in that state. Well, Major League Baseball, as you may be aware, is a conservative sport that attracts almost all, I shouldn't say that, attracts a whole lot of older, white, conservative men, right? So when Georgia passed this, what some would see as an anti-voting law, Major League Baseball took a stand for the first time in a really long time. And they said, we are not going to host the All-Star Game in the city of Atlanta. We are going to move it someplace that has more progressive, what? Voting systems that is encouraging more people to vote. And it didn't hurt that the Convention and Visitors Bureau and all of our folks in the tourism industry had been pushing to host the All-Star Game in 1922 and 1924. And then when they needed to make this shift, they chose Denver because we had everything in place and we had all of the plans. So that is how that came to be. Now, why does that matter? Well, what we know as metaphysicians is that everything is interconnected. You know, some people are thinking, oh, good, he's going to do a riff on baseball, and we get to hear that today. And I could be home watering my garden. And some people are saying, that's awesome, I love baseball. Well, again, what we know is everything is interconnected. So nothing happens in a vacuum. Nothing happens in and of and by itself. So just by way of context, yes, Major League Baseball is America's pastime. And yes, a lot of people enjoy it. And to be as clear as I can be, it's big business. In 2019, the gross receipts for Major League Baseball set an all-time record of $10.7 billion. In 2020, we all know what we just went through in 2020, Major League Baseball still earned $3.7 billion. Now, $7 billion, give or take, it's enough to get your attention, but the point is that they are a major force in so many areas in our country and in our life. And indeed, ironically, it was Major League Baseball in the 1940s that broke the color barrier when Jackie Robinson started playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And a bit more about that in a bit. So why is David going down this path? Well, I wanted to share what we learn in ministerial school from so many bright people is talk about what you know. So I wanted to share one of my experiences with you, and that is with the amazing being known as Tommy Lasorda. Tommy Charles Lasorda was born the second of 5 boys in his family. And he graduated from high school and went on to almost immediately to a Major League Baseball career as a pitcher. And shortly thereafter, it was interrupted by a 2-year stint in the United States Army. So then he came back, he had a great career, then he became a coach, then he became a manager, and he really is a legend in the world of baseball. And what I wanted to share with you is that Tommy was a practicing Roman Catholic. He was proud of his spiritual and religious heritage. And when he and his wife, Jo, who happened to be a Baptist, when they got married, they continued to raise their kids, their 2 kids in the Catholic tradition. And indeed, even when Tommy went on to manage the LA Dodgers, he would have a priest come to the stadium before their Sunday games and offer Mass for anybody who wanted to do it, right? So that is a choice that he made. He's living in his power. He never forced anybody to go. He simply made it available to the players who were resonant with that message. And as I shared, he and his wife had 2 kids. And the oldest, Tommy Jr., died of complications from AIDS in 1991. And Tommy insisted that it wasn't AIDS and that his son wasn't gay, that he died from cancer. So that was a choice that he made. And Tommy Lasorda is also known for being fiercely loyal to his players. And one of the ways that he was able to do that was by having relationships with his players. There was a taboo in baseball at the time that says, managers here, players here, never the twain shall meet, right? Well, his spoken theory was going against that taboo because he felt at his core that if he knew his players personally and they knew him, that would endear and engender even more hard work and more desire and more passion and more drive. And not only did Tommy choose to connect with each one of his players individually, but he chose to know all of their spouses and all of their children, and he always had those ongoing conversations. So again, another choice, right? He made the choice to let down those barriers, to do something different, to show up differently than the trusted wisdom, than the race consciousness, if you will, of the day. He was doing what he knew to be right and what he knew to be true. So by way of pedigree then, he managed the LA Dodgers from 1976 to 1996. He was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1997 as a manager, not as a player. He did play 2 years as a player. He was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in '97, as I said, and he was also inducted into the Canadian Hall of Fame in 2006. And this is where the story gets interesting for me. He also won a gold medal at the 2000 Olympic Summer Games in Sydney, Australia, as the manager for the USA baseball team. Baseball hadn't been an Olympic sport for a number of years, and when the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, said, yes, we want to have baseball back, the powers that be tapped Tommy Lasorda to manage the USA baseball team. So that is how I got connected with Tommy Lasorda. I happened to be in the corporate world at the time. Those of you who have been around for a while, it was the phone company. It was US West, and then it became Quest, and then it became CenturyLink, and I'm not exactly sure who they are now, but you get the idea. And when I was with them, we chose to become an Olympic sponsor, right? So we wrote a $65 million check to be the official sponsor of 5 categories in the Olympic Games. Not only that, in Olympic parlance, they say, well, you bought the house, now you have to furnish it. So we put up all of that money just to be able to play the game, but then we needed to build on that sponsorship, to build on that relationship. So as the director of Olympic Public Relations, I had the resources and had the time and had the energy and had the staff. We decided that the way that we were going to build on that is to sponsor a summer sport and a winter sport, so our company name would continue to be seen in both seasons. So we became a sponsor of USA Figure Skating, and my godmother, rest her soul, really didn't have a great idea about what I was doing, but I sent her a picture of Michelle Kwan and me, and I was golden, right? So that was David and USA Figure Skating. And for our summer sport, we chose USA Baseball. And so I got to work with the USA Baseball team as well. So what that looked like was, as an Olympic sponsor and as a sponsor of USA Baseball, we got to work with the team, and we wanted to give them a heads up, if you will. We wanted to give them some information how to talk about us. You know, these are all of these college hotshots. These guys are 19, 20, 21 years old. They couldn't give a flip whether we, bought a $10 bag of peanuts or we wrote a $10 million check. And as a sponsor, we got to do that. So I hosted a media training for what went on to be the Olympic gold medal winning USA baseball team. It was a Saturday morning. It was in Tucson, Arizona. It was June. It was really, really hot. And the only place we could do the training was in the locker room at the baseball field. And I'm like, okay, that's awesome. I didn't learn this in PR school, but we can do this. And again, here are all these young guys at the top of their game. It's early in the morning. They couldn't give a flip about what I had to say. And I'm telling them about media relations techniques. When you're talking to the media, here's how you can talk about US West. Here's 3 things. And here's 3 things to do, and here's 3 things not to do, and it'll keep you out of trouble. And honestly, my pride got in the way, my ego got in the way. Later, when they won the gold medal in Sydney, and some of these players were being interviewed, and I heard the words that I was saying come out of their mouths, I was like, they were paying attention. So now I know what some of you parents feel like. The young ones you may not think that they're listening, and the messages come out at the right time. So what are the spiritual implications? What are the spiritual messages? What are the spiritual meanings that we're looking at here? Well, as we're exploring this week, we're continuing to look at choice, right? We know that we are always at choice. We may not like our choices, and we always have a choice. So Lasorda was at the peak of his career. He was in 2 National Baseball Hall of Fames, and somebody said, do you want to coach the Olympic team? Baseball hasn't been in the Olympics in years, but we're going to give it a shot. It is America's pastime after all. And he said yes. He could have said no. He could have said, I'm too old. He could have said, I don't want to deal with those kids. He could have had any number of other responses. And when he checked in with his understanding of the higher power, he decided that, yeah, this was his to do, and that was going to be real cool. And again, you're sensing a theme here. Being a PR guy, my dad didn't have a real good idea about what I was doing. He knew I was in the corporate world. He knew I was traveling. He knew I was doing Olympic stuff. And when I sent my dad a picture with Tommy Lasorda, I was golden. So how is current information affecting your choices? Have you taken the time to check in with your consciousness? What do I think about this? What are the spiritual implications? If it serves you, that's great. Make that conscious decision and continue to carry that forward in your life. And if something has shifted, either circumstantially or within you, you've gained more information, you had a different conversation with somebody, you are shifting your perception, right? That is what we're all here to do. We're here to learn, to change, to grow, and to expand. So, how are current events affecting you? How are you choosing to allow them to affect you? And how are you interacting with that along the way? So another thing I wanted to share with you with regard to baseball is Coors Field opened in '95, I think. And 2 or 3 years later, we hosted the Major League Baseball All-Star Game then. And my dad was a huge sports fan. He had season tickets to the Broncos and the Rockies and the Avalanche and the Mammoth and the Foxes and any other team that we had. And honestly, you know, he was a brilliant man, and I'm not sure he could even spell lacrosse. But by gosh, he had season tickets to lacrosse, because that was his thing, right? He who dies with the most toys wins. So Dad had season tickets to the Rockies. Coors Field is brand new. They're hosting this Major League Baseball game. Huge fan. Baseball was his thing. And as a season ticket holder, he had the option for a tickets to the game. And somebody asked him, they said, hey, George, do you have a handle on any tickets? My kids really want to go. So that's what he did. He gave the tickets to his buddy who wanted to take his kids to the game. And I knew that that was my dad's heart. So in a twist of fate, I got tickets and I took my dad to the All-Star game. And oh my gosh, did we ever have a brilliant time. He, of course, was there for the game, and he was soaking it in, and he knew box scores, and he knew people, and he knew numbers, and I'm like, this popcorn is awesome. So it's all about your perspective. And he also loved the beer, right? Because at the time, Coors Field was the only Major League Baseball park with a brew pub in-house. Thank you very much. What else would you expect from Coors Field? So we were having a blast at the game, and unbeknownst to us, you know all of the excitement that happens around that stuff and all the hoopla. And as we were walking in, people are handing us different things, and you can buy this and you can get this. And one of the things they handed out was this little beanie baby named Glory. Well, Beanie Babies were all the craze at the time. And again, I love serendipitous moments. The front page story on Friday in the Denver Post is on Glory Days. They didn't have much to talk about, so they talked about the Beanie Babies that were handed out at the All-Star game. And the story here, this is a guy handing them out to volunteers. There's a picture of the actual Beanie Baby. Oh, no, wait, it jumps. It goes on. Then there's these two little girls holding a sign that says, "We'll pay you $35 for your Beanie Baby for our collection." And then there's a guy down here wearing a sign that says, "My wife needs a Beanie Baby to fill out her collection for her birthday. Can you help?" So all of that to say, you know, my dad nor I knew nothing about Beanie Babies, but my gosh, here it is. And forgive me for not taking it out, but that will decrease the value. So, and the other part of the deal is, and I just looked to make sure, there's actually a typographical error on the tag that speaks to the name of the company who made the darn Beanie Babies. So that makes it worth even more, right? It's like the upside down postage stamp. And then I still have the card that says, commemorative card, Glory from the Beanie Babies collection. All-Star Game received at the 69th All-Star Game, July 7th, 1998, Denver, Colorado. 16,871. Well, of course, I read this story with great interest, and they're talking to professors of sports management and collectibles and all of these people. I'm like, how in the world did you find a career like that? That's extraordinary. Anyway, the value part says there's a story of a guy who won 2 tickets to the game. And he wasn't a football fan, but he was a collector. So he went and got his Beanie Baby and kind of hung out, and then he left. And he immediately went online at the very beginning of going online and started calling people to see what the value of this Beanie Baby was. And the story says he ended up selling his for $300. And he's like, "How quickly can I get this to you?" And he said how it paid for his rental car for his family vacation. And then as they're talking to all of these other people and the value of these things, they said that the value of those Beanie Babies is now anywhere between $50 and $500. And if you look online, you can find them literally from anywhere from 99 cents to $10,000. That's what I heard yesterday when I was rummaging in the garage. He's like, "What are you doing?" So, again, my point is we all have choices, right? This guy decided to go to the game to get the collectible. My dad decided to go to the game because it spoke to his heart. I decided to go to the game because I wanted to see my dad happy after so much that he had done for me. And you know, the other part of this story is that people were paying hundreds of dollars for their kids, for their grandkids, and there were also some stealing going on. Not only was a volunteer arrested trying to smuggle out 10 Beanie Babies in various parts of his body, but a policeman was under investigation for stealing some Beanie Babies as well. So you just never know what's going to trigger it for you. But keep your distance from the platform. So along the lines of baseball and politics, another thing that just struck me as I was preparing to share with you today, there's a minor league team called the Hartford Yard Goats. Yeah, isn't that awesome? I wonder, I got to look up and see what that logo looks like. Well, the Hartford Yard Goats minor league team banned peanuts and peanut products like Cracker Jack from their stadium in 2019 due to allergy concerns, right? So it's perhaps an appropriate driver, perhaps an appropriate response, maybe not. But as a part of that then, turning lemonades into lemon, the team had a contest to determine a replacement lyric for the line in the song, right? If you're not familiar, seventh inning stretch, take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, right? So they don't sell peanuts or Cracker Jack anymore. So they took it upon themselves to infringe on somebody's copyright and change a line in that song. And what the winning entry was, buy me a hot dog and yard goat's cap. Not as bad as it could have been. You know, and after all, they're playing at Dunkin' Donuts Park, so. So that is a bit of the intersection of politics and baseball. And again, my invitation for you, the underlining spiritual theme is choice. What is influencing your choices and your decisions? And it might be worth thinking about. You know, there's a whole lot of conversation around, an early part of the story said our mayor of Denver, Michael Hancock, reached out to his good friend, who happens to be the African-American female mayor of Atlanta, to say, we are going to offer up our city as they have announced they're no longer going to be in Atlanta. So for me, that harkens back, I'm reflecting a bit of my age here. It reflects back, it harkens back to the old days of politics. If you all remember, Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill could not be more different politically and energetically. They were on different ends of the political spectrum. And they were good buddies. They would have these policy debates and arguments and conversations and do whatever they needed to do during the day for their day job, and then go have a beer together after work. Just because I disagree with you does not mean that I hate you. Just because that I'm in a different political party doesn't mean that we can't have dinner or we can't be friends, you see. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to engage in those conversations. We, as the citizens of Denver and Colorado, didn't make that decision to move the All-Star game from Atlanta to Denver. Major League Baseball made that decision, and they are living with the ramifications of that, the good, the bad, and the interesting. All we did was we were prepared to step up if the timing was right, right? So what does that have to offer you? What does that have to offer you in your experience? Where are you absolutely prepared for whatever you're calling in, and for whatever reason, you're hesitant? I invite you to be with that and think through those hesitations, to think through the ego protecting you, to think through those elements where you are ready. You are ready for your launch. You are ready for takeoff. And speaking of being ready for takeoff, for those of you who were up early today, you may have seen Richard Branson and some crewmates taking off in the plane that he has personally funded for the past 17 years, I think, to take him to the edge of space, right? So I saw a couple of interviews. He said this has been 17 years in the making, and he wants to make space travel available for other people who would like to do it. It literally will only cost you $250,000. So, you know, go you, and thank you for tithing 10% to the church. So Richard Branson took off, and it's going to take him to the edge, and then they're going to drop the plane from the ship plane that's carrying them. They're going to drop their module, and then that plane is going to take them 50 miles higher. They're going to be at 40,000 feet. Then the plane is going to take them 50,000 miles higher to the edge, right? And it's fascinating. And they will literally have 90 seconds of floating. They'll have 90 seconds of non-gravity before they come back for re-entry. And it's been lovingly referred to as the Battle of the Billionaires, because Jeff Bezos, right, the founder of Amazon and the richest man in the world, is taking off on his flight 8 days from now. And, you know, because he needed a little more attention, he has included a woman who was the first woman to pass the test to become an astronaut way back when. But of course, she aced the test. She did better than all the guys did, and she could never be an astronaut because she was a woman. Well, Jeff Bezos has invited her to join him on his trip, and she's a young 86 years old, and she said she can't wait to do it. And, you know, of course, guys being guys, forgive me, everybody, for the generalization, and in this case it might be true, Bezos is pointing out the difference, that they're going to go a little bit farther past the 50 miles, and they're going to be hanging out in weightlessness a little bit longer, but, you know, Richard Branson can have his fun while he's doing his thing. So, and not to be outdone, Elon Musk, he didn't get the memo to be a billionaire, your name had to end in a B. But what Elon Musk is doing and has been doing with SpaceX, he has been making trips to the space station. And he's been delivering astronauts of different nationalities and all kinds of supplies. So what is the deal? What is the spiritual underpinning once again? Here are these folks with more money than they will ever need, and they're all investing in space in one way or another. Well, I would invite you to consider that perhaps they had a draw to that before they became billionaires. Perhaps it was something that was calling them. I don't know. Perhaps it was something that came to them later in life. But you see, they're following their passion, and that's what makes all the difference. What is your passion? You may or may not have $1 billion. I see you and I love you just the same. And what is your passion? You see, we are pulled by passion. And what we know, again, as metaphysicians, is once it is created, once we are clear what we want, what we are pulling in, at our essence, at our core, then we allow it to take place in physical manifestation. So that is the power that you have. That's the same power that you have that these 3 billionaires have. They and you are glorious expressions of the divine. They and you are perfect children in whom God is well pleased. Have they had perfect lives and perfect existences? I would suggest probably not. And yet, they're living their passion. So why not you? What is holding you back? What is keeping you from claiming what is yours? It's God's good pleasure, right? To fill us up. So whatever you are seeking can be yours. I invite you to consider releasing the self-imposed limitations, because that's what we know. Any limitations are our own perceptions. And isn't it, as has been sung here before in the song Moonrider, isn't it the way we perceive things that makes them what they will be? It's all about my perception. It's all about how I label it. There are fights breaking out on Facebook today around these are billionaires indulging themselves, and other people are saying this is awesome and this is the next frontier of a space exploration. And maybe it's both. And what's in it for you? What can you take from that? What can you take from that? What kernel of knowledge, of wisdom, of understanding can you take in, process, and put into immediate application in your life? Just a thought. So that is what we know to be true, my friends, is that we always have choices, and choices always have consequences. The legislature in Georgia passed a law. They thought, for whatever reason, that it was a good law or it was appropriate. Major League Baseball, along with other major corporations, have said that they are not in favor of this. Major League Baseball pulled out the All-Star game. Coca-Cola said they're against it. Delta Airlines said they're against it. So this is the opportunity for those organizations and the leadership of those organizations to stand in the truth of what they know. I'm not here to tell you what is right or what is wrong. I am here to invite you into the conversation. Learn more about it and determine for yourself what you think and what you know. Because you, my friends, are every bit the All-Stars as the people who are going to be appearing on the field on Tuesday. And you will also do amazing things. Please join me in prayer. How good it is to be here in community with like minds, with beautiful hearts, with wonderful spirits, exploring and questioning. And sometimes we have answers and sometimes we don't. And I just bless the process. That is what I know to be true, is that we are learning, we are growing, we are expanding together as one, connected. There is no one and nothing apart from that great power, that great presence that I choose to call God and goes by so many names. So whatever our experience, I bless every beloved within the sound of my voice and beyond, knowing that they are magnificent, knowing that they are doing amazing things right here and right now, knowing that each and every being is somebody else's all-star. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you are feeling, whatever space your humanness might be in on this day, please hear me when I share with you that you are someone's everything. Perhaps you know them, perhaps you don't, and they look up to you and they hear your words and they see your actions and they want to be with you and be around you in your energy. So you may know that you want to be a different kind of perfect tomorrow, that you want to do something differently, that you want to show up, that you want to express differently and more powerfully. And beloved, you have to know that your light is shining so brightly right here and right now. You are that perfect child in whom God is well pleased. That is what we know to be true. It can simply be no other way. And as such, I call in the highest and best in every aspect of your life, mental, physical, emotional, relational, professional, whatever it is all good because it's all God. And if you are having the illusion, if you are having the experience of that not being the truth, I invite you to step back and consider what else might be true. The one power, the one presence chose to create you. You chose to incarnate in this time, in this place, in this space, and it is all good. So rest your humanness. Allow your spirit to shine through. You are amazing. You are doing amazing things. You are good and great and glorious. And you are an all-star. I release, I let go, I allow it to be. And together we say, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are. And it's root for the home team. So this is the closest I could come to a Rockies jersey. So forgive me for all of the purists. I'm doing what I can. And now, my friends, is the time for us to give where we are spiritually fed. And we are so grateful to be back, literally passing the basket, passing the plate, allowing for that human connection. And we bless you in that experience. And however you choose to give, whether in the sanctuary, online, or texts or checks, we have a number of ways for you to connect with us. If there's another method that you use, we'd be happy to consider that as well. So thank you. Thank you for choosing to give where you are spiritually fed. We honor you, we bless you, and we have the absolute powerful intention to use the funds that you are entrusting to us as powerful and good and God-given fiduciaries. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please join me in blessing our offering. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Because you never know where life is gonna take you, and you can't change where you've been. But today, I have the opportunity to choose. Here I am now looking at 60 and I got so much to say. Gotta get this off of my chest, I gotta let it go today. I was always too concerned about what everybody would think. But I can't live for everybody, I gotta live my life for me. I've reached the fork in the road of my life. Ain't nothing gonna happen unless I decide. I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be authentic in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. I choose. I've been through some painful things I thought that I would never make it through. Filled up with shame from the top of my head to the soles of my shoes. I made myself in so many chaotic circumstances. By the grace of God, I've been given so many second chances. But today I decided to let it all go. I'm dropping these bags, I'm making room for my joy. And I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be authentic in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. I choose. Because you never know where life is gonna take you, and you can't choose where you've been. But today, I have the opportunity to choose. From this day forward, I'm gonna be exactly who I am. I don't need the chance to wait, have a plan. Even talked to my mama, told her how much I've grown. From this day forward, every decision I make will be my own. Today I decided to let it all go. I'm changing my life every day. I choose to be courageous every day. I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose. I choose. Because you never know where life is going to take you, and you can't choose where you've been. But today, I have the opportunity to choose.
Excellent. Today and every day, I have the opportunity to choose. And now, my friends, join us as we bless the children of our community and the world. Let's rub our hands together, create some wonderful energy. And now we offer a blessing for the children of our community and the world. You are loved, special, and important. We see you and bless the divine being you are. Brilliant. And thank you as we move forth into this day and this week. Know you are blessed. Know you are always in our hearts. If we can ever support you in prayer, in consciousness, we have a wonderful team of prayer chaplains. I, of course, am always available. Fill out a prayer request. You can call, you can text. However we can support you, that is what we are here to do. And finally, let us speak aloud our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go in power. Go in peace.
From this day forward, I'm going to be exactly who I am. I don't need to change my way that I live just to have a plan. I even talked to my mama and told her how much I've grown. From this day forward, every decision I make will be my own. And I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be courageous in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. I choose, and I choose to be the best that I can be. I choose to be authentic in everything I do. My past don't dictate who I am. I choose. Because you never know where life is gonna take you, and you can't change where you've been. But today, I have the opportunity to choose.